Hello there guys, it's Republican here, and today we're going to continue What If Deku Had Halo's Power, Part 2. Hope you guys will enjoy it. So last part, after the USJ and Deku meeting the Halo, Yui sent them back to their homes, and after a few hours Deku decided to catch some air. One thing led to the other and Deku put on his Halo mask, but soon after that someone removed it, telling him that it was reckless. And I think that's it to the summary, so let's continue. Who are you? Deku asked. Oh, me? I'm Hana. Nice to meet ya. Hana? Deku asked. She nodded. Sorry if I startled you a bit. It's okay, I'm just confused. What do you mean I'm just like you? And what is this mask? Oh, this is called a Halo mask. Halo? Deku asked. She nodded. Judging by your expression, you don't know anything about them, do ya? Deku shook his head. Okay, do you really want to hear it? Because it's a really long story. Deku nodded. He really wants to understand what is this mask. And about its sudden appearance. And mostly about her. So many years ago before quirks, and this already shocked Deku, they were normal people, or what we call them now, quirkless, and people like us. Like us? So they have masks? Most of us back then did. And our powers is not different from quirks. Different people come with different abilities. You mean transforming? Transforming is almost like a common ability, but with different levels. Levels? Deku asked. I will explain further later. Deku nodded. You meant different abilities like what? Then she created almost like a black flame. Deku was surprised. Black flames? She nodded. Power like mine are not rare, but not common either. Everyone can use a bit to some extent, but some of us are more drawn to that element. Like me, I got this from my father, and when she said that she got sad. Oh, are you okay? She snapped out of it. Yeah, I'm fine, don't worry about it. And she smiled. So what about me? What I can do? Well, it's for you to find out, she replied. Even though we are born with this power, we don't know which power we will have at the end. We can only discover what we can do with proper training. Okay, but sorry, it's just a lot to take in. Power before quirks? People like us? And what do you mean, born with it? My mask only started showing up yesterday, and this surprised her. Really? He nodded. And how it did manifest? And he explained what happened. So it was trying to protect you. Deku nodded. Well, considering that you are his host, it will do it. Host? Deku asked. She nodded. You meant it, didn't you, when you put on your mask? Deku started thinking, then he remembered. Yeah, white skin, glowing golden eyes. Well, that's your power, or to be precise, your inner Halo. All of us have it. Then she put on her mask, and her eyes changed from blue to golden. And Deku kept staring at her, and she replied with the Halophil's voice. Oh, are you scared? She asked. No, it's just your eyes. Oh, what's wrong with them? It's mesmerizing to look at. They are beautiful. And Deku immediately put his hand on his mouth and blushed. And Hana did blush under her mask. I guess thank you? You're quite the flirter. No, it's not like that, Deku tried to defend himself. She started laughing and deactivated her mask. I'm just messing with you. Deku laughed nervously. It's okay, but can I ask you a question? Sure, go ahead. When we first met, you had a collar on your neck. Why? What happened? She looked down. Deku tried to apologize, but she cut him off. It's okay. Somehow I feel comfortable talking with you about it. But to be honest with you, I'm not sure either. One day I was with my dad and mom, then suddenly we got attacked by something or someone, I'm not sure. Something? Like someone have a monster type quirk? Deku asked. No, it's not like that. He looked like a human. He wore a black suit. But the reason I say what, because he had a black mask on his face, and it covered all his head and neck. And he have almost like a robotic voice. Robotic? Deku asked. Maybe it's a support item? Support item? She asked. Deku nodded. Maybe it will let him control his power better or something else. Or he just wants to sound more scarier. She was trying to crack a joke to lighten the mood, but Deku can hear the sadness in her voice. Then what happened? Deku asked. This is the part I'm not sure about. Everything happened so quickly. The man quickly attacked us and my dad protect us. That masked guy used some type of air attack at us and my dad blocked it using his power. I was not fully ready for that big of the impact, so I got separated from my family. I quickly put on my mask and tried to help my dad. Then the next thing I see is two bright lights, one red and one green. followed with a massive explosion and a lot of wind pressure, and instead of me flying away, then I passed out. And I have some vague images. I was in a lab, then in some type of tube, but they are vivid. Then the next thing I see is you. I was able to feel that we are alike, and I guess you did as well. Deku nod. So I tried getting hold of my transformation, but I don't know how much time I spent in it, but I was barely in control. I was able to reduce the power that the hollow transformation was using, but that's it. But after you broke the mask, I was able to get hold of myself a bit more. Then the color activated, and you know what happened next. He nod. So wait, Deku speak up. So after we broke the color, you were in control. She nod. Why didn't you stay and talk to me then? She blush. About that, since I spent a long time in my transformation, it was using a lot of my energy, and since the mask broke, the transformation will be undone shortly. And I don't know if you noticed, but I was not wearing anything. So... Deku finally connected the dots and blush. Oh, yeah, I think that was reasonable. And sorry for asking. Hana can only laugh at his reaction, and after calming down a bit, she apologized. Sorry, but your reaction was priceless. You're cute. Deku just blush. So he asked the big question, what now? Now, Hana replied, we train and start knowing each other a bit more. It will be less awkward training with someone that you know. Deku understands because the same thing happened with him with All Might, but it's quite late today. We should start tomorrow. You're free, right? He nodded. They gave us a couple of days after what happened. Deku geared up to leave, then it hit him. Wait, you don't have a place to stay? Oh, don't worry about me. I can figure something out. No, Deku replied immediately with a stern voice. I won't let you stay on the street anymore. Come on. Where? My home. Then after some convincing, she reluctantly agreed. So when he arrived home, his mom was shocked to see him up. Izuku? You're outside? What were you doing out this late? So Deku explained that he needs some air to clear his head. After the incident, his mom understood. Then she saw Hana. And who is she? Oh, about that, Deku started thinking of a lie. She's my friend and she's having some problems. So can she stay with us for a few days? Her parents are out of reach and she doesn't have a place to stay. Oh, sorry that happened to you, dear. Hana nodded. Well, since she's your friend, of course she can stay. So when they enter, she asked her if she need anything. And before she can reply, her stomach growled. He was embarrassed. Inko giggled. Just give me a few seconds, dear. I will cook you something. Hana nodded and thanked her. She's nice. Deku agreed with her. Now I can see where you get that from. Deku just scratched back of his head. So after deciding on the living arrangement with her taking Deku's room, and of course she commented about Deku's room and he got embarrassed. So skip the next day, and Deku got custom of waking up early. And surprisingly, same for Hana. You're up early, she asked him. Yeah, I got used to it. That will make things easier, so let's eat something. Then let's go training. The faster you get a hold of your power, the better. Deku agreed with her, and while they having breakfast, they discussed where they will train. And Deku suggested the beach that he claimed. It was deserted for quite a while, so I doubt people will come there. Well, let's settle that. Come on, let's go. He nodded. So upon arriving, Hana decided that the best way to draw out Deku's power is force it out, in a way. So they trained for next couple of days. Deku did get stronger, and accidentally, when Hana told him how to manifest his power, he created full cowling. Hana is intrigued about his power, and when she asked him about it, he lied to her. He didn't tell her about One For All and how he got it, and he felt uneasy doing it. Hana noticed that he's lying, but she doesn't probe any further. So at the end of their little vacation, Deku is in the living room thinking about what happened. He was able to somewhat feel the power, but he was not able to draw it out. Each time he go further and deeper, he always activate One For All. Then his mom joined him. Izuku, you're awake? What's wrong? Oh, it's nothing, mom. Inko sigh and tell him to not lie to her. She's his mom after all. She can feel when he's lying. And I have a hunch that it have to do with your little friend that is sleeping right now, right? Deku's eyes widen. Then he nodded. I can feel that you don't know her that much. You just met recently and you called her your friend. Deku let out a long sigh and he told her how they met. He didn't tell her about her past because he feel he doesn't have the right to say that. Inko felt bad for her, then she asked him why. He barely know her. Yes, he wants to become a hero, but shouldn't he just call the cops and they will deal with it? Deku understand her, but there is something inside of him driving him to keep her around. He doesn't want her to stay alone or get hurt any further. Inko was surprised at first. This is the first time Izuku is acting this way. But then she saw and she understood him. But Izuku, we still need to tell the police, just in case of her parents are searching for her. Deku agreed with her and he's already a step ahead of her. Tomorrow he will tell All Might about her situation, of course with her consent. Inko was surprised. You know All Might? Deku sheepishly nodded. He's our hero training teacher. Because my quirk is similar to his in a way, he's teaching me how to use it, without breaking my bones. Inko now can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that her son is in good hands. She was a bit worried about this new quirk. Well, I should be going, and don't stay up too late, okay? Izuku nodded, and in the way to her room, she met Hana. They talked for a bit, especially since she was eavesdropping on them, and after an awkward pause, Inko asked her if she can tell her the full truth, because she can see that Izuku is hiding something. Hana sighed and told her the full story. Except the part about the hollows, she still thinks that's way too early for that. Inko feels sympathetic for her and apologized if she brings up anything uncomfortable. Don't worry about it, you did nothing wrong. Oh, okay, that's good, Inko replied. But tell me the truth, what's going on between you and Izuku? This is the first time I see him reacting this way. Sure, he always wanted to protect others ever since he was a kid, but this is on a whole other level. And Hana bluntly told her she doesn't know either, but she can feel it. Something is dragging her and attracting her toward him, and same is for him. Inko kept looking at her and she noticed a little blush on her cheek. The same way Deku blushed when she started talking about her and their connection. So she realized that the best way to figure out what's going on is to let it happen. Then something clicked on her mind. Hana? Inko spoke up. I kind of understand what's going on here, so can you do me a favor? Of course, what do you need? Help him. Help him? In what way? I don't know. Ever since he was a kid, he changed. I don't know what caused this change, but he became a loner in a way. For a long time, each time he smiled, it was a sad smile. I tried helping him, but he didn't let me. He always tell me that everything is okay. So please, help him. Inko was going to bow, but Hana stopped her. Then she thanked her. Inko was taken aback. Why are you thanking me? So Hana explained, even though it's only been a couple of days since they met, she can feel that Deku is hiding something from her. And now that you told me, I might know the reason why. I don't have proof, but what you told me kind of sounds familiar, because the same thing happened to me. So thank you for telling me. Now I can help him the same way he helped me. And Hana gave her a smile. Inko teared up and hugged her. Then fast forward the next day. Of course, Deku did ask Hana permission to tell All Might. She agreed. So Deku went to school, and when he arrived, his classmates praised him for saving All Might, and Tsuyu and Mineta. But of course, Bakugo started shouting at them and telling them there is nothing great about that Deku. Ida yelled at Bakugo telling him it's not the way to talk to your classmate. Bakugo just scoffed and glared at Deku. Deku looked down, but with the corner of his eye, he saw something moving, but the second he turned his head, it's gone. Thinking nothing of it, the day went on. Then he went to talk with All Might. Izuku, my boy, what do you need? Oh, All Might, I need a favor. Oh, go ahead, what do you need? Deku scratched back his head. Can you track a couple of people for me? All Might got worried. Young Midoriya, what's going on? Deku sighed. Look, before you can say anything, please let me finish, okay? All Might nodded. So Deku explained the situation about Hana, except the hollow part. He feels that that power is a big part of her past, so she should have the right to tell him about that. So after he finished, All Might felt bad for Hana. Plus, it's a good thing that you come from me directly. Oh, why is that? Because of the masked man. Deku's eyes widened. Do you know him? All Might slowly nodded. Then he told him the story about One for All and All for One. So do you think that he have her parents? All Might nodded. Knowing All for One, he will do that. Then All Might can feel the air getting heavier, and when he looked at Deku, he swore that he saw his eyes glowing yellow for a second. So not only he used her, he took her parents away from her? Young Midoriya, calm down. Getting worked up will not solve anything. Deku took a deep breath and calmed down. So what now? Deku asked. Well, I will talk with Nizu about this, and I will call you when he come up with a conclusion. So for now, let her stay with you. Deku nodded. So don't worry about it, young Midoriya, and try to enjoy your festival, okay? And he smiled. Deku smiled back, and went back home. And when he arrived, he told Hana what happened and him not telling All Might about the hollow powers. I feel like since you know the power more than me, you have the right to decide if we tell him about it. Hana smiled and she thanked him. So what now? Deku asked. Now we train. You said you have 2 weeks before the sport festival. He nodded. Then she smirked. So get prepared because I'm working you to the bones and push you past your limits. Deku gulped and they began training. So fast forward a couple of days and Deku keep training in UA and outside of it, and he's showing a lot of progress. Hana now can feel his power whenever he uses it, and he's not there yet, and she know why. So one day during their break, she asked him about Bakugo. How do you know him? Well, She tried thinking of a lie, but Deku cut her off. Don't lie. Hana sighed and she told him that she saw him in class a couple of days ago. So you were following me? Yes, she replied. Sorry about that, but I was worried after I talked with your mom. She told me how you were before UA, and that worried me, so decided to see what's going on in your class. All of them are fine, except that Bakugo. What's the deal with him and the name Deku? Oh, that. He's my childhood friend. He's just like that, always yelling. Hana can see that he's lying, and this scenario is giving her bad deja vu, and she knew that she had to do it. She apologized to Deku in her mind. Oh, Izuku, I might have a way to help you unlock your power faster. Really? What is it? I can pour my power into you so I can drag your power out. Deku immediately agreed, not knowing there is a catch for it. So what now? She told him to sit down. He did. She sit down right in front of him. He blushed. Hana, you're kind of close. I know, but I need to get as close as I can so the transfer would work. Oh, okay. Deku stands still. Hana held his hand and she put her forehead with his. She started glowing, and after a few seconds, Deku started glowing as well. He can feel the power coming out of him, but then he starts seeing things. Two people, but he doesn't know who they are. Then the scene changed, and he's running after a couple of kids that he doesn't know. Then it changed once again, and this time he's in front of a mirror, and he see that he's a younger version of Hana. But the second he touched the mirror, it break, and the hollow version of Hana attacked him. Then he opened his eyes, gasping for air. He was disoriented and in shock. Then he asked Hana what happened. But when he looked at Hana, she started tearing up. But before he can say anything, she hugged him. Then she uttered words that shocked Deku to his core. You're not worthless. You're not Deku. So after a couple of seconds, so Hana can collect herself, Deku asked her what happened. I was you, but a younger version? He asked. Hana took a deep breath and she told him that sharing power have a side effect of sort. The memories of the people sharing power can transfer to one another. So wait, those are your memories? She nodded. Wait a second, so you... Yes, Izuku, I did. That was the only way for me to know what happened. And Deku gave her a look that basically say you betrayed me. Deku was about to get up, but she stopped him. Look, Izuku, I know that you have the right to be mad at me for what I did. He was going to cut her off, but she didn't let him. That Bakugo is not your friend. He never was. That not how friends should act. And how do you know? Deku shouted. She shouted back, telling him that she was in the same boat as him. And that made Deku froze. Hana looked down. A few years before my kidnapping, my mask manifests just like you. My dad did tell me to not put it on because I'm not ready for it, but one day I decided to show it to my friends. They pressured me to put it on. At first I was against it, but at the end I gave up and put it on. Then everything turned black. And the next thing I see is my dad holding me, and everything around me is broken and a bit on fire. And my dad explained what happened. When I put on my mask, I lost control because I was not ready for the holification. Luckily my friends survived, just shaken up a bit. I stayed a few days away from everyone to gather my strength, but when I went back to school, my friends spread rumors about me attacking them willingly, and how they were so brave to try to stop me from hurting anyone. Basically spinning the story, painting me as the monster and a villain. Then Hana teared up a bit. Those people I know since forever, and they turned on me just like that? I warned them that the mask would be dangerous, but they pressure me, then they turn on me for their gains. Just like your friend Bakugo. He doesn't care about you or your well-being. Your friend Bakugo that you grew up with never existed. That Boku was just a facade. Deku just stood quiet. Look, I saw pretty much everything, so I know that he didn't have any friends because of him in middle school, and basically your middle school was toxic. You should really report that. But now you have a couple of friends anyway, so use them as an example. See how they treat you and how Boku treat you, and you guess if he's really your friend. And I know, you may not want to talk to me right now, so I'll leave you alone. Then Hana gets up and walks back home, leaving Deku alone, lost in his thoughts. He started going through all his memories, and after spending quite a bit of time thinking, he realized that she's right. Ever since he was deemed quirkless and Bakugo got his quirk, he basically did a 180-degree on him, and slowly over the years he got worse and worse. Then he remembered that day.
Deku, that must be what you call a helpless loser who's completely useless.
Why? Deku said. Deku started tearing up upon the realization that his childhood is not existent because of him.
Deku doesn't have a quirk, like none. What? Really? Yeah, it's called being quirk. That's so lame.
Why? Deku asked once again.
You're a total failure, Deku.
Deku went from tearing up to full on crying, but soon the sadness turned to anger. He yelled at the top of his lungs and his voice changed. It became more holified. Then he let out a black beam with red aura around it, basically his own version of a zero, out of his mouth, and he fired up in the sky, away from everyone. And that zero exhausted him, so he go down to his knees and gasping for air. Luckily it's quite late, so no one noticed the beam, somehow. And after gathering his strength back, or some of it, Deku went back home. When he arrived, his mom greeted him and asked him, "Is everything okay? You look troubled, and your eyes are puffy." "It's nothing, Mom." "Izuku, don't lie to me. Something happened between you and Hana. She was upset when she came back." Deku sighed and nodded. "But actually, don't worry about it. It's just a misunderstanding, and I will fix it right now." And Inko just watched her son go into his room. He knocked on the door, but no one responded. "Hana, it's me. Open the door." And after getting no response, the door suddenly opened. He opened the door and seen Hana looking at him. Then she looked down. "Need something?" "Yeah, it's about earlier." Hana got visibly upset and she started apologizing. For what she did because she didn't have the right to do it. They barely know each other. But Deku cut her off and told her to look at him. She did. "Don't apologize. Even though yes, what you did was a bit hurtful, I really needed a reality check. Because what you said was right. He stopped being my friend years ago. And I hold on to the image of what he was, not what he become. So you don't have to apologize. I should thank you, not only for training me, but also for opening my eyes. You're a true friend, so thank you." Hana teared up because he's not mad at her, plus it's been a long time since she had a good friend, or a true friend. Someone that she can rely on, especially right now, since they don't know where her parents are. And upon seeing her in this state, Deku hugged her, and that was the last straw and she burst out crying. The two stayed like that for a bit, and known to them that Inko witnessed everything. She's happy and proud that her son is finally getting some sense of normality in his life, and proud of him of being a hero like he always dreamed of. So after a bit, Deku noticed that Hana is asleep. She's emotionally tired. Remember, she was being captive for quite a while, and when she gained her consciousness back, she realized that she's alone, and her parents nowhere to be seen. She tried her best to stay calm and be strong, but everyone have their limits, and she reached hers. So Deku tucked her in and went to the couch. "I guess everything is settled?" she asked him. He nodded. She smiled. "I'm proud of you, Izuku." Deku smiled, a genuine smile that his mom haven't seen in quite a while. Then they part ways because Deku is also tired. The next day, Deku was getting himself ready to go to school, but Hana stopped him. She thanked him once again for understanding her. Deku tried to tell her that she helped him the most, but she's not having it. Same for him. And after a bit, both of them sigh. "You're stubborn," she told him. "Well, I can say the same for you." Deku replied. Then they looked at each other and burst out laughing. "Well, I should be going. I don't want to be late. And I want to talk all night about, you know what." She nodded, but before he go, she kissed him on the cheek. Deku blushed, same for Hana, but she smiled. "See you soon," she said, "and be safe." Deku nodded and went to UA. And when she saw him leave, Hana turned around only to be met with a smirking Inko. "Can I help you?" she asked, knowing that smirk really well. "Oh, nothing. I'm just happy for you two." Hana blushed even more and she nodded. And for Deku, he was having a great morning until he heard Bakugo's voice and he's yelling. Deku sighed, opened the door, and he's dreading his morning already. And with this, I'm going to stop it right here. So, what do you think of it, guys? What will happen now with Deku's change in personality? How will Bakugo react to this new Deku? How will the rest of the class react to this new Deku? What will happen next? Leave your thoughts in comments down below. And if you want part 3, 500 likes and I will make it. And I apologize, it's taking me like 3 to 4 days to upload a part. It's just, I'm getting some document ready. Because if you follow me for a while, you know that I'm done with my internship. And the process of getting my diploma is a bit of a hassle in my country. And other personal things. So hope you guys can understand and wait for a bit. And if you're new, subscribe, there's more videos like this coming. And like always guys, peace.